Awesome. All right. Thank you for joining me for a yoga and meditation class. My name is Holly. My pronouns are she, her. We'll start with 20 minutes of floor-based relaxing yoga, followed by 20 minutes of floor-based relaxing meditation. So this is just a time for you to move your body, enjoy your own company, breathe a little bit, relax a little bit as we transition into the weekend. We're going to start in a comfortable seated position. You can sit crisscross applesauce, right? Or in Sukhasana easy pose with one foot in front of the other. You can rock back and forth, side to side. Maybe roll your shoulders forward a few times, backward a few times. Then just relax your shoulders and sit up nice and tall. And at the beginning of class, if you'd like to take a moment just to move your body in any way that feels good to you. Throughout class, remember that you are your greatest teacher. And if I'm, suggesting you do something with your body that does not feel right to your body, you are always welcome to modify postures, skip postures, do something else, right? So I will guide this class, but just remember that you are in charge of your own yoga practice. And, when we start just by moving a little bit on our own at the beginning of class, I think it's a reminder of how much we already know that we need, right? So taking time to move your body in a way that feels good to you. Okay, great. As you're ready, you're gonna sit up nice and tall, drop your shoulders, lift your chest, and we'll begin with a few rounds of 4, 7, 8 breathing. This is a breathing technique where you inhale through your nose for 4, hold all that oxygen in the body for 7, and then slowly exhale through the mouth through puckered lips for 8. So the idea is you inhale fairly quick, you hold all this fresh oxygen in your body, and then you very slowly exhale, which brings the body into the parasympathetic nervous system response, right? Calming the body. Can take a few rounds to figure out how fast to inhale versus exhale. But if after a few rounds, you're still having trouble with the breath, you can keep the ratio, but make it faster. So you'll inhale for 2, hold your breath for about 3.5 seconds, and then exhale for 4. Okay. You are welcome to close your eyes for this breathing exercise or do a soft fuzzy gaze beyond the tip of your nose. Seal your lips. Place your tongue at your palate, at the roof of your mouth, behind your teeth. Exhale and begin. Inhale through your nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the inhale breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale through your nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through your mouth. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Keep the shoulders down. Exhale for 8. Let's do 2 more minutes of 4, 7, 8 breathing. If your mind is wandering, just returning to the 4, 7, 8 count. Let's do one more full round of 4, 7, 8 breath. And as you're ready, just return your breath to normal in and out through the nose. And take a moment to observe how that breath feels in your body, or any changes that have occurred in the last couple minutes. They could be just subtle shifts in energy, or maybe a little bit more drastic feeling like the shoulders can relax a little bit more. Keep in mind that part of yoga, yes, it's moving our body, but it's also moving our breath. And again, if at any point in class something does not feel right for your body, focus on your breath instead. And that's a really beautiful part of a yoga practice. If your eyes are closed, you can open your eyes, looking forward, maybe place your hands on your knees, thighs, roll your shoulders forward a few times, backward a few times, and then sit up nice and tall. We're gonna start with a butterfly pose. So you're gonna bend your knees so that your feet are on the floor, and slowly start to open up your knees so that the soles of your feet come together. And at first that might look like this, right? Eventually the knees might drop. The closer you bring your heels to your groin, the more of a hip opener it is. The further away you bring your feet from your body, the more accessible it might be, right? You're still getting that hip opener, but it's a little bit more gentle. Good, sit up nice and tall. Place your hands outside of your hips. Take an inhale and sweep your left arm long overhead, stretching the left side body. Good, exhale, come back to center. Take your left hand down to the floor. Good, inhale, sweep your right arm overhead, stretching right side body. Good, exhale, place your right hand down on the floor. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Good, exhale, set it back down. Good, reach the right arm up on the breath in. Right arm down on the breath out. Good, inhale, so we're still moving the breath in the body. Exhale. Good, inhale. Exhale. Great, on your next inhale breath, sweep both arms up and overhead. Take a moment here, you can rock back and forth, really feel your energy reaching out through your palms together. And on your next exhale, you're gonna pull your hands through heart center like you're saying a little prayer. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Can pause here for a breath or two, rocking back and forth, side to side. Spread your fingers wide. Right, feel this energy coming through your seat, all the way through the crown of your head, your hands. Place your palms together, and on your exhale, pull your hands through heart center. Good, inhale, sweep up. This time, palms together. Exhale, pull hands through heart center. Place your hands at your heart space, shoulders down, elbows down. Press your palms together. Feel your biceps activate a little bit. Good. From here, we're going to start to fold forward. Move your hips back a little bit. Try to keep your sit bones on the floor. You can keep your hands in prayer, or if you'd like, you can place your hands on your feet and maybe give yourself a little bit of a massage here, massaging the feet. Good, and as you're ready, slowly press yourself back up, come back to center. Bend your left leg in, kick your right leg out so that your legs make an L or a 90-degree angle. Good, inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, turn to your right and fold. Round your spine, hands to the floor. Drop your head down. In some versions of head to knee pose, the head and knee touch. In this one, right, you don't have to force it. Keep your leg long. You can try flexing your right toes back towards your face a little bit to stretch the calf, Achilles, and hamstring. Good, look forward. On your inhale, sweep your arms up. Good, exhale, float your hands down. This time you're gonna kick your right leg out even more. So now we're stretching the inner thigh. Point your toes, flex your toes, keep your toes flexed back. Take your right hand outside of right thigh and reach your left arm long overhead. Good, option to stay here or bend your right elbow, bringing the forearm onto the thigh. Option to stay here or bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back for practicing yoga today. Good, if your left elbow is bent, straighten your left arm. If your right elbow is bent, put your right hand on the floor, press yourself up, take your left hand down. Let's do the other side. Left leg out, right leg into an L, a 90-degree angle, so your hips are square. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, turn to your left, chin to chest, round your spine. And draw your navel in towards your spine, shoulders out of the ears. Flex your left toes back, eyes open. Look towards your abdomen. Good, look forward, sweep your arms up. Good, float your arms down. Very nice, kick your left leg out a little bit more. So now we're stretching the inner thigh, point your toes, flex your toes, keep your toes flexed back. Take your left hand outside of left thigh, reach your right arm long overhead. Good. Option to stay here or bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back for something else you're proud of this week. Great. If your right elbow is bent, pardon me, I forgot to say you can also bend your left elbow and come down. Forgot a step here. So we just deepen our stretch a little bit. Okay, if your right elbow is bent, straighten your right arm. If your left elbow is bent, put your left hand on the floor, push yourself up and take your right hand down. Keep your left leg kicked out. Now kick your right leg out. You're gonna point your toes, flex your toes, windshield wiper the feet. You can draw circles clockwise and counterclockwise, working out the ankle joints, and then flex your toes back. Inhale, arms up. Good, exhale, fold, hands to the floor in front of you, roll your shoulders back and down, almost arch your spine here. So rather than rounding your spine, think about lengthening the spine. A little bit of activation in the upper spine here, squeeze shoulder blade scapula together so the upper spine gets stronger. Good, press yourself up, take your hands outside of your thighs, bring your knees, feet together. And again, you can point your toes, flex your toes, windshield wiper, draw circles clockwise and counterclockwise, good. And then flex your toes back towards your face, stick your butt out a little bit, inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold. Depending on your body proportions, your hands might be outside of your hips, your knees, your calves, right? If you have a long torso like I do, it's easier to get your hands towards your feet. But if you have long legs, I'm so jealous, your hands might be more towards your hips, and that's okay. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, come down, stretching the backs of the legs. Good. Push your hands into the floor, come up the center. We're going to make our way into a tabletop position here. And if you have tight knees, you are welcome to roll up, or sensitive knees, I should say, you're welcome to roll up your mat so that there's a little extra padding under your knees or your toes or your ankles. So we're going to make our spine long like a tabletop. You want your hands about shoulder width distance, wrists under shoulders, and knees about hip width distance, knees under hips. We're going to cat-cow here, rounding and bending our spine. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head forward. Exhale, pull your abdomen in, drop your head down, chin to chest for our cat pose, meow. You're rounding your spine like a cat. Spread your fingers wide, root down through your knuckles, push the floor away from you. On your next inhale, we're going to move into cow pose. Bring your abdomen down, look up towards the ceiling, stick your butt up, roll your shoulders back and down, press your chest forward. Good. You're going to exhale into your cat pose, meow. So slide the shoulder blade scapula apart, actively push the floor away from you, tuck hips to ribs, ribs to hips, draw your belly button up towards the ceiling. And as you're ready, cow pose, let your abdomen relax, send your tailbone up, roll your shoulders back and down, look up and back. So again, there's this activation through the upper spine. Good. Exhale into your cat pose, pardon me. This is our last round. And as you're ready, inhale into your cow pose, looking up and back. Keep your shoulders out of the ears. Good. Exhale into neutral spine position. Keep your left hand on the floor. Inhale, sweep your right arm up, look up. Nice little spine twist here. Exhale, place your right hand down on the floor. Good. Inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Open through the chest and shoulders. Good. Exhale, left hand down on the floor. Good. Inhale, right arm up. This time we're going to thread the needle. Exhale, take your right arm underneath your left arm, right ear, right shoulder to floor. Keep your feet on the floor. Option to keep your left hand on the floor close to your face for balance, or reach your left arm up and drape it behind you. Reach for your right thigh with your left hand for a half bind. Take a breath here. Good. If your hand is straight behind you for a bind, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Place your left hand back down on the floor under your shoulder, close to your face. Press your palm into the floor. We're going to unthread the needle. Inhale, reach your right arm up, look up. Exhale, right hand down. Good. Let's do the other side of thread the needle. Inhale, left arm up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle. Take your left arm under right arm, left ear to floor, left shoulder on the floor. Try to keep your hips over your knees. Option to keep your right hand on the floor or reach your right arm up. Reach back, drape behind you. Reach for your left thigh with your right hand. Breathe. If your right hand is straight behind you, reach your right arm up. Place it on the floor. We're going to unthread the needle. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Good. Exhale, left hand down. Very nice. You can open your knees a little bit wider. Bring your big toes together. Wide-legged child's pose. Start to sink your hips back. Stretch your arms forward, bringing your forehead down towards the floor and your hips back towards your heels. Good. From here, start to walk your hands to the right side of your mat. You can cross your left hand over your right hand. Forehead on the floor for a little side body stretch. Good. Walk your hands back to center and do the other side. Now walk your hands to the left. You can cross your right hand over your left hand, forehead to floor between the arms, hips a little to the right, upper body to the left. Good. Walk your hands back to center. Reach your arms forward, sink your hips back. Inhale, feel your ribs expand. Exhale, feel the ribs contract. Breathe in and breathe out. Gently lift your head, look forward, walk your hands in towards your body, slowly press yourself up. Coming into a seated position here, we're stretching through the toes, ankles, and knees. And from here, take your hands behind you. You might even find, maybe you can even clasp your hands together. From here, you're going to start to bring your hands towards the floor, chest up for a nice little back bend here. Squeeze shoulder blades, scapula together, look up. Good. Slowly bring your spine back into a neutral position. If your hands are clasped, you're going to undo that bind. If your words are hard, if your mat is rolled up, you're going to lengthen your mat again and then turn lie on your back for the last part of class. I've been like jumbling my words all week. Okay. Take a moment here with your head on the floor, arms and legs down. Feel your spine start to lengthen and realign. Let the floor hold you up. It's a Savasana pose, corpse pose. Great. Bend your knees, feet on the floor, about hip width distance. Rotate your arms so that your palms face the floor and bring your arms underneath your butt so that your thumbs touch. Spread your fingers wide. We're going to do a bridge pose here, another back bend. Press your heels down, squeeze your glutes, keep your head on the floor. Gently tuck your chin in so your neck spine lengthens. Press your shoulders and heels into the floor and lift your hips up. So the glutes are squeezing together. Press your heels into the floor, shoulders onto the floor, head on the floor, chin slightly to chest. Rather than opening your ribs, try to squeeze and knit your ribs together. Lift your hips and pelvis up. Hold here for one more breath. Good. Slowly bring your hips back down to the floor. Supine figure four, keep your left foot on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. So if you look down your legs, make a four shape. That's why it's called figure four. Option to stay here or lift your left foot off the floor. Bring your thighs in towards your abdomen. And if you'd like, you can take your right hand in between your legs, left hand outside, interlace your 10 fingers and pull down. It's a great little hip opener, side seat stretch. And it also stretches out the sciatic nerve that runs from the lower back all the way down into the foot. So good for sciatica. If you have a grip on the back of your left leg, release that grip, slowly return your left foot to the floor. Right foot to the floor. Let's do another bridge. Bring your arms underneath you, palms face down. You want your ankles underneath your knees. Press your heels and palms and shoulders into the floor. Tuck your chin in slightly, squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up. Knit the ribs together, press down through the shoulders. Can you lift your hips a little higher? Inhale. Exhale. Slowly lower down, hips to floor. Keep your right foot on the floor, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Option to stay here or lift your right foot off the floor, hugging your thighs in towards your abdomen and interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Keep your two shoulders, your hips on the floor. See if you can relax through your left hip and left glute. Good. Release the grip from your right leg. Bring your right foot to the floor, left foot to the floor. Last bridge, bring your arms underneath you, palms face down. Press your heels, palms, shoulders down. Squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up. Good. Chin to chest. Take a breath. Great. Slowly lower your hips down. Happy baby. Keep your knees bent. Lift both feet off the floor. Open your knees and feet a little bit wider than your hips. Flex your toes back towards your face. Option to grab the backs of your hamstrings, your knees, or you can grab the outsides of your feet, elbows inside, hands inside. We're going to rock right and left, rolling out the back muscles. Good. As you roll to the right, you can straighten your right leg, stretching the inner thigh, and then come back to center. And as you roll to the left, you can straighten your left leg, stretching the inner thigh, come back to center. You can do this a few times.
This is a great way not just to open the hips and stretch the legs, it's also a great way to kind of massage your back with your own body weight. When you're ready, come back to center and then just gently start to bring your knees down towards the floor a little bit more, opening the hips. Relax your pelvic floor, take a breath. Release any grip that you have on your feet or your legs. Place your hands outside of your knees and bring your knees, feet together. Let your feet relax down. Good. Feet to the floor. Straighten your left leg. So left leg on the floor, and then lift your right foot off the floor. Take your left hand to right knee and roll to the left so that your right hip stacks on top of your left hip. Right shoulder on the floor. And if you'd like, you can take your right arm out to the right. Left arm out to the left. You can keep the back of your head on the floor or look over right shoulder. If you'd like, if you can kick your right leg, your top leg out to the left, and then you get a nice IT band stretch as well to the outer right thigh. Take a breath here. Good. If you're looking over your right shoulder, bring your head back to center. If your right knee is straight, bend your right leg, and then you're going to roll back onto your butt. Straighten your right leg, other side, bend your left leg up, take your right hand to left knee and roll to the left. Left hip stacks on top of right hip. You can have your left arm out to the left, right arm out to the right. You can keep the back of your head on the floor or look over your left shoulder, left ear towards the floor. And if you'd like, you can kick your left foot, your top foot out to the right, stretching the outer left thigh. Try to keep the left shoulder down as you breathe. Good. If your top leg is straight, bend your top left leg. If you're looking over your left shoulder, bring the back of your head to the floor. Slowly roll your left hip back to the floor, left foot down, arms and legs down. Final Savasana. You can close your eyes here, open your arms and legs. Take an inhale, feel your body rise. And then exhale, body fall. Breathe in and breathe out. So sometimes we think of yoga as purely like balancing on one foot, right, or moving our spine. But as a reminder, our breath work is part of our yoga practice, and meditation is also a limb of yoga. So for the second part of class, we're going to focus a little bit more on that concentration, meditation, relaxation aspect of a yoga practice. For this meditation, you are welcome to continue to lie on your back, or at your own pace, you can roll off to one side and make your way into a comfortable seated position. As a reminder, there is no such thing as a good meditator or a bad meditator. There are simply people who meditate and people who do not. So for the sake of today, you're meditating, right? We're going to find a little bit of stillness, a little bit of breath. I like to define yoga as compassionate mind control, which just means that whenever we notice our mind has wandered or we're attaching to a particular thought or feeling, you're just going to observe that attachment and compassionately let it go, right? Our thoughts are like clouds, which is a very cloudy day here in DC, so this feels particularly applicable. Our thoughts are like clouds. Sometimes they're white and fluffy, sometimes they're gray and stormy, sometimes they pass quickly, sometimes they linger all day. It's important to remember that you are not the clouds, you are the sky. So through yoga, we're observing our thought patterns, noticing what's taking our time and energy, and then we're compassionately letting them go. All right. Once you feel in a comfortable seated or lying position, you are welcome to close your eyes or do a soft fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. And I'm now going to light a candle as a symbolic gesture that we are entering into a more intentional space. Being intentional with our breath, intentional with our body movements, and intentional with our thoughts. A lot of our day is spent running around, moving from task to task. Maybe at work, we're thinking about, what's next, like a project that's coming up, or we think about something that's already happened in the past. It's very rare, and it's frankly a huge gift that you're giving yourself to let go of
what already happened or what comes next, and instead just give yourself the gift of this present moment, of this breath. Inhale and exhale. The human brain is pretty incredible, highly theoretical, right? We can think about all these complex issues and have complex solutions and problems, etc. And sometimes we get so caught up in our own head that we forget that our head is part of the rest of our body, right? And our mind and our body work really well in tandem together when we let them. But sometimes we're so in our own head that we forget to pay attention to our body. So this meditation, every Friday I do a different type of meditation, but this one is really just about observing our body, observing the way that our body moves with our breath, and letting our minds kind of take a back seat. As the body relaxes, we often find that the mind relaxes a little bit more. Start to turn your attention towards your breath. You don't need to force an inhale or an exhale. Just start to observe your breath and how your body is just very subtly moving with the breath. Notice if there's an area in your body that's feeling particularly tense. Think about just giving your body permission to relax a little bit more. Just going to give us a minute to download and be still and breathe. And just observe compassionately what comes up for you in this minute. I'll say it again, there's no such thing as a good meditator or a bad meditator. There's simply people who meditate and people who do not. So know that whatever came up for you in that minute of stillness is really valid and normal and accepted here. Sometimes when I'm in stillness, a certain thought or something on my to-do list pops up. Sometimes I get anxious or bored. Or sometimes if I've been running around all day and my body finally stills, my brain freaks out a little bit, right? Because my brain's like, what's going on here? So if you've experienced any of those things, that's normal. If you experienced a little bit of deep calm, right? That's normal. This is just an opportunity for you to let go of the need to run around, to let go of the need to think about what comes next or to reflect or learn something from what's already happened. And just give yourself permission to be here in your breath, accepting whatever comes up for you. We'll take another minute of stillness.
Bringing your attention back to the body. Notice where you might be holding on to tension. Just give your body permission to relax. Sometimes we hold tension in a part of our body because of an injury or an illness, but often there is a direct correlation between, a feeling of relaxation and the shoulders softening, or a feeling of nervousness and the shoulders tensing, right? And we all hold emotion in different parts of our body. So you might experience sadness in your abdomen, and I might experience sadness in my chest, right? Or you might experience joy at the back of your neck, and I might experience joy in my hands. And often we don't even really realize this correlation until we give ourselves some time to notice, where is my body relaxing? Where is my body holding on to some tension? Maybe what's been going on in my day that might, add to bodily relaxation or bodily tension. Often we walk around asking people how they are, but we rarely take time to check in with how we are. So our question for our meditation today is, how is your heart today? How is your heart today? How is your heart today? And this is a time for you to be really honest with yourself without being harsh or judgmental. Just observe what comes up, and also maybe where it comes up, right? An emotion that starts to come up or a thought. Do you feel it in your chest or in your abdomen or in your feet? There's no right or wrong. I'll give us 2 minutes to meditate on how is your heart today. Where is your mind today? Where is your energy going? Again, we're not going to assign judgment like good or bad. Just take 2 minutes to ask yourself, where is your mind today? Where are you sending your attention to? Without judgment, just observing.
What is weighing heavy on your heart and on your mind? And what feels maybe light or curious or hopeful? Notice if you're judging what's coming up. Instead, choose compassion towards yourself. What does it feel like to be in your body right now? What does it feel like to be in your body right now? Two monks are walking down the road. It's a Sabbath day, and they've taken a vow not to work, not even to pick anything up. As they're walking, they come across a woman who's struggling to cross the road with her groceries. And without thinking much of it, the one monk offers help, picks up the groceries, helps her across the street, sets the groceries down, and they go back on their walk back towards the monastery. As the monks near their monastery, the one monk turns to his friend and says, I can tell something's on your mind. I can tell something is bothering you. And his friend says, we took a Sabbath vow today. We promised we weren't even going to pick anything up, but you picked up that woman's groceries. And the monk says to his friend, I put her groceries down miles ago, but you're still carrying them. What are you carrying today that you might set down? Maybe not forever, but maybe just for a few breaths. What can you give yourself permission to set aside? You can inhale through your nose, feel your body rise. And then exhale, body fall. Breathe in. Let it all go through the exhale breath.
Draw your attention towards your mind. You can even place 1 or 2 fingers on your forehead, bringing your attention here. Thank your mind for all of the beautiful things it does. And also remember that at any given time, you have the control, right, and the practice through your meditation to get out of the mind and into the heart. Now bring your attention to your heart space. And if it feels good, you can even place 1 or both hands over your heart, over your chest. Thank your heart for all of the things it does for you, both the physical pumping of blood and the caring for yourself and others. And then acknowledge that we don't have to take care of everything and everyone all the time. And sometimes when things get a little too heavy, it is okay to set things aside. Now bring your attention to your body as a whole. If it feels good, you can even give yourself a hug here. And thank your body for all of the amazing things that it does. And then just remember that you have the practice through yoga and meditation, the control, right? To observe the body, observe the breath, observe the heart, observe the mind, and remember that at any given time, all of these things are working for you. Take an inhale, body rise. Exhale, body fall. Breathe in and let it all go. You're welcome to stay in this meditation space for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, I'll count us down from 3, at which point you can make any other motions that tell your body you're shifting gears. Inhale. Let it go for 3, 2, 1. Now going to blow out this candle as a symbolic gesture that our meditation time is ending. And I'm letting the very real smoke clear the air as a reminder that when we take time to sit with ourselves and breathe and check in, we literally change our relationship with the space around us. Thank you, friends. Happy Friday.